Yeah, baby. Happy Friday to you, man. I hope you're having a fantastic day already this morning. It's Tony Kurre here on TKR. Big hotty ho to everybody. Check in this morning. Let me know where you're at. Man, what a monster weekend. We got Halloween coming up on Monday. We've been talking about, hey, listen, I want to thank Fox 6, WBRC. We have a great relationship with them here on Tony Kurre Radio. And of course, that's a big part of Josh Claypo. Josh does a lot of stuff. He's their official psychologist at Fox 6, and he does a fantastic job up there. Brandon Austin Morris, good morning to you, my friend. But they're just wonderful. They're wonderful to work with. I've worked with a lot of TV people in my career. Radio people always want to be on TV. TV people, not so much around radio people. They don't really care. Radio people were always the fun ones. The TV people kind of always had to keep it straight and narrow. But Fox 6, they're just a blast. They let us do whatever we want. We get about a 6 or 7 minute spot every Thursday morning at 9:35. And thanks to Jeremy, the producer, and of course Janice Rogers and Mickey Ferguson and Mike Deverly and all those guys. They're fantastic. Wayne Schneider, good morning to you, man. Just love them, and best TV station, period, anywhere. So thanks to Fox 6 for everything they do, and thanks for having us on. With it being Halloween, I'm going to be a big part of the OLV Hero Fun Run again tomorrow. I think there's a 1K and a 5K. I've been in contact with a good friend of mine, Brian, from Our Lady of the Valley Church. It's where I go to church. I'm Catholic. And so whenever they ask me to help out with anything, man, I just love being part of it. We're going to be at Herdmont Park tomorrow. There's going to be a costume contest. There's going to be a huge run. The weather's going to be fantastic. It starts right around 7 o'clock in the morning. I'll be there probably about 6:30 with a cup of Joe. But if you want to come by, go to olvchurchbirmingham.com, olvchurchbirmingham.com. You can sign up for it or just show up or walk with us. We're raising money for the Our Lady of the Valley School. It's just a wonderful benefit and just a good group of people at Our Lady of the Valley. So I'm looking forward to doing that tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock with Tony Kurre Radio. It is a special weekend, too, because with Halloween coming up on Monday, people are going to be out tonight, tomorrow, not so much on Sunday, but this is wedding weekend. You know why? If you were like my ex-wife, I proposed to her in July. I said, let's get married next winter. She's like, no, we're getting married in the fall. And I said, it's football season. People ain't going to come to a wedding in the middle of football season. She's like, we're getting married in September. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Okay. So we did. And I think Alabama was playing Arkansas that day. There were people making bets at my ceremony. I could hear people. And do you, Tony, take this lovely bride? And I heard someone say, yeah, put 50 on Arkansas plus 14. This is bye week for Alabama, so a lot of people that want to get married during the fall season and don't want to step on any toes with their college football fans or their family and friends, they get married on this weekend because Alabama's got the bye. One of the reasons it's great that Alabama's got the bye is they got the big game going on against LSU November 5th, which is next weekend. By the way, the line has already come out for that game. I'll tell you what it is. Al Cooper, good morning to you. Happy Halloween to you, my friend. One of the reasons that bye is coming in at a great time is because LSU is playing some great football. We saw what they did this past weekend against Ole Miss. You know, I did sports radio for 20 years. I worked at ESPN for a little bit, so I love doing sports. We have sports shows on the TKR app and, of course, on our Tony Kurre Radio podcast platform. We have students of the game. We talk a lot of sports. I'll be talking to Mike Leach from Mississippi State a little bit later on this afternoon. We'll podcast it as well. So I love talking me some sports. But LSU, 42-3. They outscored Ole Miss after getting down 17-3 early in that ball game. And I think that game next Saturday is going to decide the West, period. I think whoever wins that game between Alabama and LSU, I think they win the West. And, of course, they go to the SEC championship game. We'll see what happens. LSU's playing great. They've only lost 2 games, one to FSU at the beginning of the season, 24-23. They could have won that game. And, of course, they lost to Tennessee just like Alabama did. So they're playing some great football. Brian Kelly, not really surprised he's doing great, but I thought maybe it'd take him a couple of years for his style of coaching to infiltrate the LSU culture, and he's flipping around pretty quick. They're playing some pretty good ball. By the way, the last time LSU covered a home spread against Alabama was 10 years ago. But let's remember last year LSU was a 29-point dog to Alabama and only lost by 6. By the way, that line next weekend, Alabama minus 14.5. It's going to be a very interesting ball game. And again, I think whoever wins that game next Saturday is going to end up winning the West. Another interesting game is, and you think I'm crazy, I think Kentucky may give Tennessee all they want this weekend. You see Tennessee coming off the big win against Alabama, another win. They don't look like they're missing a beat. Offensively, they're running about as well-oiled as any machine out there in college football. But that line being 11.5, Levis is back fully healthy for Kentucky. Something just tells me if it doesn't happen, Tennessee wins by 50. You didn't see this. But something tells me that Kentucky is going to give Tennessee all they want at Neyland Stadium this weekend. What do you think, huh? No? We'll see what happens. Also, a very interesting game is Ole Miss playing at A&M. Ole Miss only giving up 2.5. That looks like we call them smelly fishes. When something just doesn't smell right, you stay away from it. There's a reason why Ole Miss is only favored by 2.5 at A&M. They're sitting there 3-4. Their season is in shambles. Jimbo Fisher coming out earlier this week saying, "Why do you want to go play for a program that's winning all the time? You'll never play." What? What are you talking about? Speaking of college football, by the way, too, and UAB's got a big ball game going on this weekend against FAU. This is one of those gut check games for Bryant Vincent's UAB squad. They're sitting there at 4-3. They're favored by 5.5 on the road. This is a game where you got to pay attention, man. No penalties. Stay in front of the chains. Don't turn the football over. But UAB needs to get this victory on the road to go 5-3 in the season. Not to say the season will ever be lost, but 5-3 sounds a hell of a lot better than 4-4. We'll see what happens. But I talked to Mark Ingram yesterday. You can go wherever you get the Tony Curry Radio podcast. It's Curry with a K, K-U-R-R-E. And listen to a show called The Director's Chair. It's the UAB Director's Chair. It's a show all about the UAB football program, but it goes much deeper than that. We talked about Jimbo Fisher yesterday. We talked about the new NCAA guidelines when it comes to name, image, and likeness, the NIL. We got into that. We talked about, I asked, if you've been down to Protective Stadium, I asked Mark, who picks the music you play during the football game? Because I hear some of the music, I love it. I hear some of the music, I'm like, not so much. He picks a lot of the music, and I asked him to name his top 3 bands, and you'll never believe what the number 1 band is in his life. He named it on the podcast yesterday. Search Tony Curry Podcast. I also put it on Twitter, Facebook, and, of course, on the Tony Curry page as well as the TKR page, so check it out. So lots of college football, wedding weekend. If you're getting married during the college football season, this should be the Saturday to do it since Alabama's off. Keep that in mind. And what else we got going on? We got the big run going on tomorrow. Our big Halloween party that was going to be at Work Play on Saturday night has been postponed. We're moving it off. We want to own this thing. We know we can fill Work Play up with 400 or 500 people. Sky Skull, good morning to you. Good to see you, brother. We want to make sure that everyone gets a chance. And when there's like 16 different things going on Saturday nights, we want to make sure that we're the only game in town. So Workplay is going to do that. So we'll do our big shindig sometime in December. We'll have Elvira there. We can do Elvira. She looks good any time of the year. She'll be there in December, so we'll have a big time coming up. But if you already got your tickets, go to Workplay, workplay.com. You can use your tickets for the further date or the next date, or you can, of course, get your money back. And anything else going on? Have yourself a great, safe Halloween weekend. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow morning at the OLV Fun Run. Thanks to all of my great sponsors. Thanks, of course, to Coosa Valley Auto Sales. They do a wonderful job, CoosaValleyAuto.com. Love those people. Had a really nice conversation with Al yesterday. I keep in touch with all my clients. As a matter of fact, I talked to like 16 clients yesterday. Chris Dorse, the State Farm team. I did a great show, When in Rome, with Stuart Rome. Stuart Rome, Birmingham.WoodhouseSpas.com. Birmingham.WoodhouseSpas.com. Did a show yesterday. It's called When in Rome with Stuart Rome. He picked his top 5 classic rock bands that look like Halloween. It's fantastic. It's a great show. Go to Spotify or wherever you get your Tony Curry Radio podcast and listen to the show. You're going to love it, man. It's got some Ozzy in it. It skips Alice Cooper, Kiss. It's fantastic. Check it out. You're going to absolutely love it. And, of course, all of our shows. We have fresh new shows that run all day, every day of the week. We do new shows every single week, so you always got new content. If you want to go back and listen to any of our great shows, search Tony Curry Radio Podcast. You'll see Audio Boom shows up. We're on every major indice. Really good program. Super proud of our content and everything we do here on Tony Curry Radio. And download the TKR app. If you're on Apple, TKR. If you're on Android, Tony Curry Radio. Pull up the app. Takes you 5 or 6 seconds. I don't have to do services and all that other garbage and clicking boxes and stuff. Just download it. It's good to go. And you'll get great classic rock and roll 168 hours a week, 24/7. It's fantastic. I'm very, very proud of it. And you'll be doing me a big service by downloading that app as well. Have yourself a fantastic Friday, a great Halloween weekend. Be safe. Be looking for the little pumpkins on the road after it gets dark on tonight, tomorrow, and even Sunday. I'll be sitting on my front porch on Monday night. I can't wait to see all the little pumpkins coming by the old Tony Curry residence. We'll be blowing out the speakers, playing some AC/DC, and giving out the real size, the actual sizes of candy bars at the Tony Curry house. If you know where I live, come see me. I love you. Happy Halloween weekend.